I'm doing all right, man.
Well, that's good.
It's great.
Yeah, is your toilet paper hoard still holding up?
I'm good, man. I got like 80 rolls.
80 rolls. That sounds like a rap song. I got 80 rolls.
You know what?
You don't fuck with that.
It is, man. It is. And then you told me about your situation, Kevin. What's your situation?
Yeah, we have Kevin Hamoki, who used to be on the podcast with us called The Other Guys, formerly deceased podcast. Welcome to the show.
Hi. It's good to be on your podcast as opposed to when I don't know what we had before, but yeah, it's good to be here. Good to be alive in general.
Yeah,
Isn't it good to be alive?
Yeah. How are you doing in this time of despair?
Just living day by day. Currently in a Tim Hortons parking lot, just scouting just getting a taste of the climate.
Are you scouting the Boston Creams?
The Boston
I was gonna say, I'm like, are you scouting the clients? Is that what you just said? The clients?
Yeah, clients. Actually, for me in this whole pandemic.
What do you make? $5 a client?
Just about in these times, you gotta do, players gotta eat.
If you round up from 10 cents to $5, then essentially you get paid $5.
Yeah. No, McDonald's and fast food restaurants are my canary in the mine of this whole situation.
You're just gonna keep going to them until you get sick?
That, or the moment they start closing, that's when I know shit hits the fan.
They've already closed.
Society's still doing good. Yeah, no, that's cool. But I'm just saying, like the moment that shit goes down, that's when you know the end is nigh, as they say.
I miss Robin's Donuts. They used to have a cute name. They were like little eggs instead of like Timbits. They were like Robin's eggs.
Well, did you know that in the States, what's the big donut shop down there?
Are you talking about Munchkins?
Dunkin', yeah, that's right. Yeah, see, there you go. How do you know that?
This is going to sound kind of weird, but this is something we talked about once, I think, on our podcast. Because I was like,
there? I don't know if I was there for that.
You were there. I just think it was one of those trivia things I tried to pull out on you. I think you might have already known. But I was like, what about Munchkins? That's pretty cool, eh? And you were like, I think I like Timbits better. And I'm like, yeah, Tim's Bits. That sounds all right.
You mean I was part of that conversation? Oh, shit.
I think this is one of those conversations that, like, it's easy to forget that we had that. It wasn't really of any consequence,
Dude, I've totally forgot about it. Was I drinking? Was I tired? Were we tired? Was it the middle of the night?
I think we had just shot up a bunch of heroin, so, like, I don't know. You kind of were really getting tired, man. And I was, I don't know.
So, yeah, Kevin, are you still, free? Like, what's the last fast food meal that you've had?
Tim Hortons. Got myself, went in, wanted a wrap, but they ran out of wraps, so I ended up going with the biscuit option.
Went in? What do you mean went in?
No, I went with the biscuit option. Didn't actually go in. I don't go into places anymore, man.
Oh, I thought you said you went in.
You walked in with a biscuit?
No, I drove through.
I thought you were talking about you went with a biscuit. You're like, I went with the biscuit. And
I bring some food. Biscuits.
Bring your own biscuits. It saves you a buck, and you put the egg and bacon in, and they're like, there you go.
That's it.
Walk in with your own. I don't think they'll do it right now, but that's interesting. So, like Timmy's, though, I don't count that. So, like, other than okay, what's before Timmy's? Like, because you're at a Timmy's. So, are you counting this visit?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But before that, I got to go with the BK on that one. Burger King, 2 original chicken sandwiches. For like $5.
You know what? That's my last stop too, only because I have a Burger King near my workplace, and there's an A&W or like a little further, but yeah, I was like, you know what? I'll just hit it. And it's like more in it, like kind of in an industrial area. So I'm like, it's not crazy busy, but they're open. I feel my odds of going there are pretty good. So, I went there and I had a Whopper combo and,
Yeah, okay.
regretted it the minute I finished it.
Yep, that also comes part and part with fast food
Basically
living.
halfway through, I was just disgusted with myself. I finished it, but, you know what I mean.
Well, Burger
Now, the
King
thing
can be
is,
kind of dicey elsewhere because I've been to the
It could
one.
be what?
Well, there's like the one last one I went to was the one at Yonge and Dundas, and I'm like, it's one of those times where like I went in with a friend after we got off a trip back from Montreal, and he wanted to go there, and I'm like, sure, man. And then I'm like, it's one of those things you order food and you sit there, and all of a sudden you're sitting there and you look around and you start to notice all these crackheads just there, like and they're looking back at you, and you're just like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have come here. This is like a bad decision, and the food sucked.
yeah.
That's a
Speaking
good way of looking at places when you're eating there is look at the other people.
Yeah, no, that's one of those things. Like, I normally, if I hadn't been tired and I would have been in line, I would have been looking at around there, going, "Well, there's a lot of people with like shopping carts and grocery bags and stuff here with all their all their belongings in. So maybe I shouldn't eat here." And yeah, no, I didn't clue in fast enough. So,
Kirk, how are you getting your food these days?
so
I'm
I have
mobile, right?
I have a grocery store up the street. It's still running. It's got like a bit of a social distancing program going on. So you got to wait in the line outside normally. So I've only gone a couple of times now, and I ordered some supplies from Costco. So I got a bunch of like almonds and dried fruit and nut mix and stuff like that, and some pretzels and shit. So that's kept me going for snacks. And then my mom always sends me this stuff. Like protein powder and stuff every month. So I like protein powder stuff and protein bars. So I got that stuff too. So kind of like all those things together, I'm pretty well taken care of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did
But
you
we were,
hear
so we were, basically the reason I wanted to do this podcast tonight though, the reason of
Yep.
it was,
yes.
we, had the last one. It was a discussion about all these dark times that were happening.
Mhm.
And so I thought
Yes.
a good response to that would be a podcast where we talk about the things we're looking forward to, like video games coming out, or movies or TV coming out, or the idea that like sports will be back on, what we'd want to see, what we want to experience, or just like weird things maybe we can't have right now. We're looking forward to doing again.
Mhm. Right.
I'm just going to say that the public should just watch the movie Zoolander and thank me for it later.
But why Zoolander?
Because it's funny.
But why?
Zoolander?
Oh, no, I was just doing that bit from Zoolander when he's like, but why male models? And he's like, are you serious? I just told you. It's such a good.
Well, it
good
was a
line.
little more. That would be if I like went into a whole spiel about Zoolander.
Yeah, no, I just still was trying to get that out there, because I kind of knew why people would want to watch. It's funny, but like,
I've been watching pandemic movies, end of the world movies. Just studying up, seeing what works, what doesn't. Mad Max. Mad Max is a.
I think you're missing the point already.
Is a documentary.
But what are things like, Kevin? You're our guest.
Yeah. Yes.
What are things?
Yes. Ask me the questions. What do you want to know?
What are things?
Yes.
What are things you're looking forward to in the future once this COVID-19 pandemic is over? Like what you can't do right now, or things you want to see anyway, just to like have hope for the future.
I would like to see half the population gone. No.
Oh, we're back into that.
Let's see. Things I'd like to see.
Bigger
I don't know,
seats on airplanes.
Here's the thing. Like, I'm not really too affected by like everything that's happening now is kind of to my advantage. Like, the roads are clear, so it's a great time for driving and biking and doing all that stuff. I don't really like crowds, so kind of a good thing right now. I like video games, and right now I have a lot of time to be playing video games and movies. So there's not really. I mean, I don't know. Like I
What
haven't
are
been
some
that
of those
affected.
things you can't have right now that you'd like to have in the future? Like, is there a game you're looking forward to? Like PS5 coming out this end of this year, maybe? Anything like that? Any like future
Yeah,
Marvel movies that you want
yes.
to see, or like just
Okay.
have a flight of fancy. Tell us what you'd like to see.
Okay.
Maybe this all clears up and you get a girlfriend. Who knows? You know.
Yeah, Kirk. Let's go fancy and let's go. Here's the thing.
Like, tell us which Instagram model you're going to be dating once this all clears up, because they're going to see how much of a hero you are.
Well, if they end up living, I don't know. There's a couple of Instagram models right now that are that are surviving. I don't know if you know this, but on Instagram right now, everybody's promoting the at-home fitness. You know, getting fit at home and trying to work because all the gyms are closed. Actually,
I
yeah,
don't
that's
have Instagram.
so basically everybody's just working out at home, and these Instagram models, they don't really, they're not as good as working at home as when they're in the gym. I feel like the gym is their forte. But yeah, I don't know, things I'm looking forward to. Pretty much I want to go on vacation.
What are you doing?
Kirk, are you good?
I think your thing is fucking up.
No, I can hear both of you, but somebody's.
No,
No.
that was your thing.
Maybe there was just some interference.
Yeah, because you're outside.
Right. Yeah, just looking forward to.
Are you working out at home though?
Yeah, pretty much just walking, doing the neighborhood walks.
Do you foresee yourself getting in immensely great shape now that you have like this work at home motivation, or what do you think?
Nope. Gonna be way worse. I'm logging way too many hours on Call of Duty, Apex Legends. Yeah, I'm logging mad hours on those things. So we'll see. We'll see how long this thing goes.
Because I would say, from my standpoint, like, I'm doing really well with working out now. Because I just look at my weights, and then, like, as long as I'm feeling it, I just lift them, which I like a couple times a day. I'm just going for it. I'm getting like some pectorials going. Just like it's nuts, man. I'm telling you.
Just start watching Cape Fear.
I'm probably, next step is to tape myself underneath Kevin's car and just follow him around all day.
You know, when he's working out in prison or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's where the Sideshow Bob thing comes from too, where he's like,
that's right, yeah.
I heard gingers, they can't get the coronavirus. Is that true, Kirk?
No, I mean, I have a theory I might have already had the coronavirus.
Okay.
There's a theory that we've all already had it. Huh?
Uh-huh. Oh.
There's a theory that we are the virus.
And it's just a simulation, baby.
Yeah.
Murray, are you up to any activities? What's keeping you going?
No, man. I should be though. I'm thinking about it. What do you like? I'm still going to the store. You know, on the regular.
How often are you going to the store? Like, I'm doing a once a week thing. What's your?
Enough, man. I was in 2 spots today, man. Pet store, grocery store.
You got pets?
Well, yeah, I got 2 life forms that are alive here.
Okay. Fair
Apparently,
enough.
Not my kids. No, I got 2 guinea pigs.
Oh, guinea pigs. Yeah.
Okay.
They're full of disease.
Well, you know, I figure if I fatten them up, I got backups. But, yeah, so I mean, I almost went to a 3rd store today, but I called it. I'll have to maybe hit up a store tomorrow as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in and out. I mean, I stopped by Arona the other day just to grab gloves. Other than that, I'm in and out of stores. 30 seconds or less.
Have you made any pointless trips anywhere and felt guilty about it after?
No, because I went for a drive the other night, and I was just driving, and then I ended up getting a strawberry milkshake at a McDonald's somewhere up in Uxbridge. I was up in Uxbridge, so it's just north of Toronto, maybe a 40 minute drive.
That's kind of pointless.
It's kind of pointless, but you know what? It was nice. It was, again, I like being out there, you know, driving.
Yeah.
I thought there was more to the story for a second.
No. There's nothing.
I drove a little bit further.
Kevin's gonna be like a super carrier and just infect all the drive-through workers,
Uneventful.
all the gas stations, like just totally just ruin Toronto.
It's gonna be one of those murder boards from like a crime show. And they're just like Kevin's face in the middle, just like with arrows pointing at all these different people.
Well, here's my question for you, Kevin.
Yes.
When you're out in your vehicle,
Yes.
and you go through the drive-through or whatever, let's say you got to buy gas.
Yes.
How are you handling that?
So I carry a small. Here's the thing. I don't wear those stupid fucking what do you call those doctor masks that are not the N95, like the fuck, I'm gonna call them.
I also don't wear a mask
because those things don't actually like block. There's a science behind it, but they don't actually work. Whatever, they're good. Again, if you want to make people comfortable and make them believe and all that stuff, more to them. But I personally don't wear that. I do wear gloves if if I know I'm gonna be touching things. But other than that, I have a bit of hand sanitizer. I just basically I basically just do a hand audit. I make sure what things I'm touching, and then when I get back to a home base or I'm in my car, do the dab, wipe the hands, do a couple of Hail Marys, and you're good to go.
Do you have any protocol like when you come back home though, with like stuff you've brought back in?
Again, I clean my hands. That's about it.
Because I've been wiping like boxes and plastic and stuff because that's where they say that you can someone could have touched it with the virus and you bring it in, but that's just me though.
I bring my own bags. I haven't been doing boxes. I mean, in terms of, I haven't really ordered anything from Amazon in the past couple of while, so I haven't really been I really just haven't been touching things. I've been touching my face a lot, so that's why I'm really. Cause here's the thing, I did a night where I wore gloves for for work and just tried to see how it felt to just wear gloves for 8-9 hours a day or whatever, right? And I just noticed myself from time to time touching my face even with the gloves on. And I'm like, I'm going to get fucked anyway, so might as well just keep an eye out of what I'm touching and just do the dab of alcohol or whatever, or the disinfectant. And,
I carry sanitizer. And I use it a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
If you run out, another good thing is just using aloe vera and rubbing alcohol. 90%.
I never heard of that, dude.
Make your own batch. If you run out, that's the prepper's. I'm ready, man.
That's a prepper's guide. Is it also like the prepper's guide? If you run out of alcohol, just start drinking mouthwash.
Mouthwash, vodka. Vodka works. Vodka's a good disinfectant. That's how the Russians do it. Yeah, if you look at the numbers, man, Russians are doing pretty good. Not as bad as the States. I'm just saying, if you look at the stats, some of these countries are doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay.
What do you think of China, Kirk?
This is kind of going off the rails again of what I was hoping to get out of you. I know I just realizing now it's like me and Murray were like, good topic, but then I'm like, and it's like we were like asking you like, what were you looking for? And you're like, nope, this is my perfect life.
Hit me with 21 questions. Hit me with direct. What do you know? And I'll answer them to the best of my knowledge. What do you want to know? What do you know
What do I want to know from you?
about
Well, I think
me?
you already asked it. What are you looking forward to?
I pretty much told him. I mean, other than going back to the gym and regular life, there's nothing. I mean, I was supposed to go to a concert in August for
There we go.
Green Day. Yeah, I was supposed to get tickets. I was supposed to get tickets for Green Day. In May I was supposed to do a cottage trip, but that's looking a little dicey right now. Depending on how things play out. I mean, ultimately,
How about this as a question for you?
yes.
Given the circumstances of what the world is like now, if you had
Yes.
to pick a country
Yes.
to travel to outside of Canada and the United States, where would you feel the most safe going after you've seen kind of all this play out?
Okay, I want to do process of elimination on that. Can I do process of elimination?
I just want an answer.
Okay, I'm definitely not going to any of the Asian countries. That's not even a racist thing. That's just like
What about the Philippines?
yeah, that's Asia. I'm
It's
not
like an
going
island, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, Manila right now has some shit going down. Apparently, there was a guy on an airplane that tried to escape the country, brought it down, dude. Shit's going down.
Okay, just thought I'd throw it out there because you have some connection to that.
Yeah. In general, yeah, I'm not going to the Asias, not going to the Europes.
You were saying Russia, though. Would you want to go to Russia, maybe?
I'm not a big fan of the food. I don't know. I gotta go with maybe like a southern, like a South American, like an Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
That or Alaska.
Oh yeah, Alaska. That'd be good.
I'd
It's
probably
very, very remote, very beautiful, and you can explore and kind of like take your own time.
It's also America too, so I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I mean I would give you that one, saying even though I said not in Canada or the United States, it's kind of like its own thing, you know.
Right.
It's close.
I mean,
It's pretty close to Russia and Canada.
yeah, but see, it depends on the type of trip you're doing, right? Like when I do trips, I like to see what the culture's like, hang out with people, and just see what it's whatever, right? I don't want to go to a place and just be isolated again, right? So that obviously traveling right now is dumb, so I wouldn't be doing it. But
there's a lot of healthy looking women at the beach still, like go to Brazil or like there's some people there. They're not really that concerned about it. They just want to have a good beach time. Maybe that would be a good place for you to go. Check out the local talent.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, like I said, it's most likely going to be in the South Americas. I'm leaning towards Argentina only because it's really down there. I don't know. I got to see the stats. I got to see who doesn't have the corona.
They apparently that's where a lot of Nazis hit after World War II was Argentina. So you might have some commonality.
Stinker.
Yeah. But anyway, no, I actually have an interesting question to ask both of you now. Just thinking of you're talking about concerts earlier. I feel like this is going to be one of those things that they're going to put on a benefit concert or something like how there was with SARS, maybe down the road to raise money for relief and people, basically being out of work and the economy is going bad. So, you guys tell me of a living current bands that could be possibilities. Who would you want to see perform on a no limit, just cream of the crop, your call concert lineup?
Oh, I got a good list. Let me know. Murray, you go first, but I got a good list.
Okay, well, I mean, no, you go first.
Okay, I'm going to lead it off with, I want to see, actually recently Ozzy Osbourne just, released a new album, really good. So I've got to go with Ozzy Osbourne. I got to go with AC/DC led by Axl Rose, cause I haven't seen that and it's probably something, with Guns N' Roses as well. Metallica. Who else? Rolling Stones. Basically all the big rock guys. I want to see all the big rock guys. Want to see Eminem. I've never seen Eminem. He'll draw numbers. Taylor Swift's probably going to draw numbers, so you got to throw her in there.
She should be an opening act for those guys, maybe.
Yeah.
Do a couple
Again,
songs.
it comes down to numbers, right? Who's going to be drawing in numbers, right?
But also, this is like your lineup that you want to see. But like most likely, it's going to be really big bands, right? But
yeah, again, I'm not really big into the DJ, music. I wouldn't be pulling in DJs, but I'd probably bring in those big rock bands, guys that are still touring. Aerosmith, I heard they put on a really good show. I've
seen Aerosmith.
Yeah, they're still doing shit, man. So
I saw them in Sarnia, so I mean, like, they're not that big of a deal.
They're still kicking. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much my list. Pretty much all those rock bands and Taylor Swift opening up. That's my.
That's cool.
That's my list right there.
Wow, that's quite the list, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who else is coming. Yeah, but nobody's really drawing numbers, man. Yeah.
The problem is, like, I was talking to somebody else about this, where they're like, yeah, man, like, look at the world today. Everybody's hiding out, back in the day in 2002, SARS Fest, man. We didn't hide. We rocked with 1 million people, man. Biggest bands in the world. We had 1 million people all crowded in there. I'm like, buddy, 800 people died worldwide from that.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
It was only in hospitals, so chill out. It was a little bit different. I'm like, you can't get 500,000 people together to rock out anymore. The bands aren't going to come. So,
yeah, that's
not going to happen. So it's like,
saying, like, in this circumstance, it's like after the virus clears up and they need like relief, right? This would be kind of like a Live 8 situation where all these like bands come together for like one big live show, and that would be that.
I'll tell you right now, it can't be in North America because North Americans don't know how to do it. And you got to get Guns N' Roses and Metallica together, and you go down into Brazil, and you just have 1 million Brazilians and me there. That's a good time.
Well, if they do this thing, they might do like a global thing, right? Like didn't they do one for AIDS where it was like one in the States, one in Europe, one in the UK, and then
that was Live 8, and that was for poverty.
Yeah, that's the one.
And then there was Live Aid, which was for AIDS in the 80s. So that was like when Queen and like
the Queen one.
That was Live Aid. So it was at Wembley Stadium in England, but they broadcast it live.
But those are a bit different. Those are awareness concerts.
Still, those are numbers.
They were still to raise money, I guess. But yeah, there wasn't really the same threat behind that necessarily. But if I was going to do mine, I'd probably my favorite band of all time is Led Zeppelin. I feel like that would be
still doing stuff?
They haven't done a live concert since 2007, and before 2007 they hadn't performed together since like Live Aid in '85, because when their drummer died in like 1980, they basically like stopped performing together. But then the drummer's son, Jason Bonham, he performed with them on that last show they did, and it was amazing in 2007. They just haven't been able to agree to stay together as a band because they still kind of like want to do different things. So I think that would be a perfect time for them to come together. And of course I'd want to see like Metallica, AC/DC, because those are bands that like kick ass, and I haven't seen live.
I respect the Zeppelin. I mean, a lot of people would want to see that, but in a scenario like to bring back okay, this is kicking off like the future. We're putting like this horrible time behind us. I'm not sure that's a time to be watching guys who haven't performed in 30 years basically feel it out again. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see bands that are tried and true, well-oiled machine, and I want them to blow the roof off.
They're better than AC/DC, and they're better than Guns N' Roses, and they're better than all these other
AC/DC, I think, is probably the best band in the world.
No.
And I prefer Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like,
here's the thing.
Zeppelin was
I don't
great.
want to start
and
a
they played
band
great
war
in
right now.
2007, and you guys didn't let me fucking finish my own fucking shit. You fucking assholes.
We're not even there, okay, but okay, yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
like, I got into saying Led Zeppelin, oh, they suck. Well, yeah, like, yeah.
No, they
fuck
don't.
you.
I didn't say that.
They're great. Nobody said they sucked.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
saying that you're dumb for your comment in there. That's all. So, then I'm gonna do that. And the other band that's probably the best band of the last 20 years, I would say, is Radiohead, and they should perform. And then my other one that would be a personal favorite I'd like to see perform again is the White Stripes. They broke up because the drummer Meg White left the band and hasn't played because she has anxiety or something like that. And I think they are one of the best acts of all time. And I would love to see them get together for a show like this. Because again, it's a show that I want to see because this is what I would look forward in the future to make me feel better about things getting better. There.
Mm-hmm. Led Zeppelin sucks!
I like fantasy novels too.
Or
No,
Led Zeppelin, no Zeppelin. They got like 3 good songs. Beyond that, you gotta be like 80 years old to like them.
I don't know about that.
No,
Guns N'
here's the
Roses,
thing,
Guns N' Roses technically has like one good album, so.
I'm just grinding you, buddy.
yeah, I don't want to get into a band war right now. But here's the thing. No, listen. All these bands, they put on a sick show. Just it'd be good for the numbers. But yeah, I don't know. I think ultimately it comes down to, are people even going to be when do you think people are going to be comfortable with going out and being in crowds again? You know, because
I think we could go to Palm Beach, Florida right now and get people
you get one of
go
those
to that concert. There's
Yeah.
people right now who I think in like a lot of dumb areas like that, go to a beach anywhere in the nice weather and people would want to go see something like that. So
yeah, it must be harder to be quarantined and like places like that where it's like, oh, the beach is right there and everything is right there. You know, too bad this thing didn't hit like midwinter.
I was driving around today. A lot of people were
I
out.
think it did hit midwinter. That's when this thing started.
January, February.
But anyway, I think that I already had this virus, which is weird. Is that weird? Just think that? Because I think I was sick.
Are you dead?
Well, no, it's just like, it's not like I wouldn't be someone that would compromise, right? I just was sick, and it was weirdly sick for like 2 weeks in like the beginning of January when like it might have started to get out globally at that point. And like at my work, there's like people I talked to and like we'd hold on to like passports and stuff like that. And then like a lot of them are from China or like Korea and stuff. So like it's probably unlikely, but it's one of those things where I was like, a person from work called me and they're just like, you know what? Like I was sick and you were sick and I wonder if this time it would actually happen, which is like, the only thing that would be good about that would be if I was actually sick, apparently. That'd mean that my body would have antibodies. And so I could just go out and do what I want, you know?
So are you saying, you should test that out, man. You should go out. And
Well, I have no way of testing that.
take one for the team, man. Go into a hospital right now and just start shaking hands and see where things go, man. Just
hey, let me breathe in that cough you got there.
Dude, you know how many people I'd like to convince that they have the antibody? Like that would be the best way to get somebody killed right now. Be like, hey, buddy, you're good to go. You're dude, man. You're clear. You had a cold? You had a cold in a couple of weeks? Yeah, you're good to go, man. And just send them out there, and then drop dead in a couple of days or weeks.
I don't know if it works that way exactly, unless the people you wanted to kill were immune compromised or elderly people.
I
Then
own
if that's
immune compromised.
all your enemies, I imagine, are elderly people or people with like asthma or something, right?
Yes, those are on my list. No, I don't know, man. I think right now, listen, man, when it comes to this whole thing, you got to do what they say and follow the rules, man. Like that's what I'm doing, man. You know, but there's a great lining. I don't think you should be one of these guys that just stays in your fucking house and like withers away. You got to be doing something because your immunity is going to get compromised too if you just sit on your fucking self and just wither away. You gotta get those vitamin D's and boost that shit up. You gotta pump those numbers up.
Yeah, that's why my window is open all the time now.
You just stare out your. When's the last time you were actually physically out of your house, Kirk?
Yesterday.
Oh yeah, what did you do?
I walked around for a bit.
Oh yeah, do you see anybody?
Yeah, I see people. And then like I just don't really go very far at the moment because it just feels uneasy because like I don't want to like I don't know. I don't even like going out right now. It feels kind of weird. It feels like you have to have a reason to leave. And like I
Hmm.
work out at home and I just fixed up my bike, so I'll feel probably more comfortable riding my bike around just because like I can kind of like go wherever, right? You know, like I just go into the park and I can bike. Whereas when you're walking, you're still kind of passing people and being out in public. It just nothing feels more awkward than when like you're passing someone on a sidewalk and you both just try to like inch as far away as you can from each other and you look at each other like you're you could potentially both like bring hellfire on each other. It's kind of a weird time, so I don't know.
Mm.
I mean, like that's something I'm looking forward to not doing. Like I'm looking forward to getting back to like a regular life. So I'm like biking will be a good thing to do because the weather's getting nice now. Like where it's like today's warm enough. I just didn't have my bike set up in time, and yeah, I'm just like looking forward to seeing like kind of like uh I don't know, just like kind of like I think like the future might be better or like in a certain way like people will be maybe nicer to each other now because we've all been through something like this and I don't know. I'll get to go out back and do like comedy again because like it's one of those things where like you like I never really thought in this circumstance like until now it's all happened that like this is something that just shuts down live live performance like going
Yep.
anywhere. So
Actually, those are the guys I feel a little bit. Those are the guys I feel a little bit rougher about, especially if you make your living from like those. I mean, you, Kirk, I don't know if you've been in contact with other comedians and talking to them, like if that's their sole source of income, how are they? Like, see, like most people, if you have a job right now, the you know they'll what do you call they'll pay you or whatever or a percentage or whatever or that. But like if you're a performer and you know your source of income is that, how are they coping? How are they living? You know?
um I
Because like
don't know.
I
Like
don't
I don't know a lot of stand-ups in Canada that just make all their money just from touring. There's some guys who make a pretty okay amount of it. So I imagine at some point they're going to be hurting, right? Because they're like,
uh,
I haven't heard any like for sure stories of people having rough times at the moment because it's only really been like a month, right? But I imagine like that's got to affect other things too, like other gigs people could have if you're a musician or
right.
any kind of performer really, or like even like productions of like I know people who've acted on TV shows or have even just small parts in movies, like in the crowd scenes or whatever, just small parts. Like I had a friend who's had a small part in a TV show, like on Amazon, like something like a couple of different shows. But then like, how's that person? They're not going to be able to work on those shows because they're going to shut down production. So like across all these different like venues of making money. So I think they kind of fall into like gig workers too, because there's people I have met who like work like as techs in theaters and like concert stages and like so like they obviously can't work and it's a similar sort of gig economy that they all fall into. But I think like basically the government set up like, you know, some sort of like fund basically like where it's like EI, but like everybody can get it, which is going to come out soon. So
Hmm. Yeah, no, that would be interesting. So yeah, I don't know.
I think it's just hard for some people. Like if you're a comedian, like I know people were talking about that the idea of like this will be the longest period of time that they haven't been able to go on stage and perform, which is then like because this has happened to me before where like I've taken a break sometimes like up to you know almost a year of not doing stand up and like it's weird when you go back to doing it again and not having that being on. It's almost like you have to restart again because you're just like, okay, well, all the material I was working before is how does that work? Like, can I even do it? Like, you almost just want to have to reset your whole self. Other than the fact you know how to do the thing, it's almost like a full on restart.
mm, I don't know. I think those guys, because I've been watching we follow the same comedy podcasters. I think that's one way to stay warm. Those guys, you know, doing podcasting. But I think ultimately being creative. Like I've seen a lot of even guys that we know do content on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, and they're bumping those numbers up because they still have that creative output, right? So I think that's one way to stay. Because if you just go cold turkey, yeah, it's going to be a bitch to come back. But if you still have a bit of creative juices pumping, I think it'll be easier when you come back.
Yeah, so that's definitely something I'm looking forward to, like, getting back into, because it's kind of what I was, like, just getting ready to ramp up more when I was getting off work for, like, obviously a different reason than this, but Murray, back to Murray, what's stuff that you're looking forward to when this all ends? Do you have anything, like, sports-wise or TV, movies, anything you want to see happen?
I'm looking forward to baseball season, but we may not get that. I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to like normal stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to some movies, man. Like, unfortunately, this was going to be a big year for movies, and
I can hear your guinea pig.
Yeah, I want to see that new Bond movie.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess the benefit of the movies right now is that they are doing, like, the direct-to-video stuff sooner. And some things are just being released. You pay more, but, like, if you really wanted to watch something, it's, like, not too far off of, like, paying for tickets, but...
Yeah, but there's just certain movies that I mean, because I love movies, right? And I feel like there are just certain like, I don't mind the direct to if some of the movies come and they go direct to demand or whatever, but there are certain movies that you just need to watch in the theaters. I think they just do better in the theaters. And I think I don't know. For me, I think Bond is one of them. I really wouldn't. I really, as much as I like Bond, I really wouldn't appreciate it if they just sent it straight to Netflix or something like that. I think it would.
No, they're gonna delay that and hold it.
They gotta delay it and just wait. Yeah, see how.
But you're talking about $1 billion movie.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if it's a small independent, I mean, Suicide Squad should have been direct. That one was. I heard that one wasn't that great. But yeah, I think there are certain movies that they just need to hold off, wait so that people can get that. Because that's another thing. People are gonna hold on. Like that will be a thing for people to hold on to, right? Like, oh man, I can't wait until so and so is out, or I can't wait till this concert is whatever, right? So it's a good thing that they're holding off, right? But I don't know. That's the big gamble. When and if.
But what if this is what if this is the way for
that's what I've been
while?
Thinking.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, this year was a great year. Like, there's movies that were supposed to come out. We, like you said, Bond, Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's this year. A bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's some other good stuff. And it's like, man, like, some of this was going to be really, really cool. And I don't look forward to many movies. Like, I'm not, 16 years old. So it's not like every weekend I'm going to the movies or looking forward to watching a movie every weekend. I'm like, you know what? There's maybe like a half dozen a year that I'm like fairly interested in,
Yeah. You guys think that there's something like that they can make consumer wise that can make, other than the TV, that could make like the experience now, if this is going to be a reality, is there something you could make experience wise that can make movies at home more like the theater or more enjoyable?
Yeah, let me go into a theater by myself. I'll pay an extra $20-$30.
Can I rent this out just to see road
one
trip?
One at a time. I'll rent it, or I don't know, because the government's saying
more than that. Yeah.
They want to
I think that no, they're never going to do that.
Yep.
I think that if they wanted to kind of change the movie experience, including, and this is where I might be a little crazy, and they could even do this once the movie theaters reopen, charge the exact same amount of money for home viewing that you would charge for a movie. So if it's $14.95 to get into a movie theater, that's how much you're going to charge. However, here's the rub. So Cineplex, Odeon, or whatever your movie theater is, has a streaming channel or something, an app or something like that. And at the show time that you have bought your ticket for, that's what time it'll be on your TV, and they have to make it that you can watch it at that time. And then you can't save it. You can't record it. Like, you know what I mean? I guess somebody could set up something and bootleg it. That's their big worry, right? That's why they don't want you doing it at home. But so like maybe not live, but right now, instead of, doing what they're doing, do that. Have it 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Like,
don't they have
start
that
rolling
super
that
ticket
out.
thing? They have like a super ticket. I think that's part of it, isn't it?
Isn't
It's
that
not like
called cable television?
No, but it's new movies, Kevin. Like, I'm not, don't push them. Like these movies that are going on video on demand,
I think
like
they have
rentals
that,
or
though.
$20. What's it called? I've never heard of it.
I remember seeing it
For a brand new movie?
Yeah, because I remember seeing this in Sarnia.
That you have to pay $15. It's going to be on at 8 o'clock, and then you'll never get to see it again.
I think this is what they were doing. I'm not sure they would change it to what you're saying, but there was something called they had like Cineplex had a thing called a super ticket. Was that you go to a movie and you bought a super ticket, so it's like $30, and then you're paying to go to a movie and get a good experience in like AVX or something high end, and at the same time you'll be able to watch the movie on demand at some point.
No, they give you a digital copy when it comes out on home video, you get it for free.
I think it was like my brother's mother-in-law or something like that, or I don't know how to describe what this person actually is. But yeah, she actually bought it, and then she's like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the movie like the next week. And I was like, oh, okay. So like some people were paying for this sort of service where it wasn't just like a video later. It was like you could watch these movies that were in the theater at the time.
Sure.
Like,
so you know what?
You had to buy this expensive ticket to do it.
But now we can't buy a ticket. So figure that out. So they're on the right track and just modify that. So you don't have to lose money on the $5, $7 rentals, and you don't gouge everybody saying you have to purchase the movie for $20 or rent it for $19.99. Although I know what they're thinking. If you pay one price of $14.99 or whatever for one ticket, there's going to be 5 people watching the movie at home, right? So maybe, you know what? Maybe you're stuck with $20. I don't know, but I think they got to figure it out. And I think that's what's interesting about everybody being at home. Mm-hmm. You're going to see technology and certain things come out of it, right? Because a lot of people are at home and you're going to think up ideas like, oh, you know what would be cool? This, cause it's not going to end soon. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, we'll be back in the summer. And what if it goes until September?
Right.
What if this doesn't stop? And it's like, oh man, this is going to just be life for the next year. Right. That's not good for anybody, but you got to have hope and you got to look for stuff. And I think that's one of them. And, some sports. I'm looking forward to sports.
Yeah. I want to see a hockey playoff at some point, which is probably unlikely, but,
I don't know.
So I feel like if this was the year, that the Maple Leafs, actually won a Stanley Cup, and it was off of the fact that they played like a 1-month playoff, and could you call it that legitimate? I'd almost, okay.
How were the Leafs doing this year though?
They were in like playoff contention, so.
I don't know, man. I think, I think sports is going to definitely, this year's pretty much a wipe when it comes to sports.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's one of those things like hockey is pretty much the one sport that I love to follow. Even when the Leafs aren't in the playoffs, I just love playoff hockey. Same with playoff baseball. I think those are two really special things. And I would watch it regardless of who's in it. It's nice when you have the home team like the Jays or the Leafs in it, but I'm as a Leaf fan, I'm definitely used to them not being there. So,
oh no, I wanted to go do the Montreal Grand Prix this year too. It was I think in July or whatever. But even to be honest, even if it does come back,
I don't think they'd accept you as a racer though.
We'll see who dies off. But
me versus you.
It's like
I'll
that.
get my Toyota Echo versus your Mustang.
It's like that royalty. You know the royalty lineage. Like it would take these many people to die for you to become king or queen. I'd like to see how many people would take to die in the world for me to become an actual F1 driver. But no, I think yeah, just a few.
Murray,
but
are
the
you
thing
still there?
is,
Yeah.
Murray's back. Okay,
yeah,
great. Well, a thing I was thinking of, like, in terms of we're going back to the movie idea. I was watching this new tech apparently where it's like a vest you wear. It's for video games. It gives you like realistic kind of like feedback. And I was like, I bet that would be good for
or
watching a
VR.
movie. Well, it's
Yeah.
like I guess it's for VR. You can even just have it to play video games with because it's like feeling the game. So when you get like hit in the game, it's not like just the controller that shakes. It would be this thing would shake, or there'd be some sort of like some sort of emotion or whatever to it. Like it kind of give you that extra little realism.
Well, that's cool.
And I was like, that would be even cool to watch a movie with, because like I think one of the things we'd miss from going to a big theater is like the sound and the feeling, and like when you feel like the ground almost shake or the walls. If that's something like that could duplicate that experience when you're just sitting there, you feel a rumble and like an explosion happens in a movie. I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that would be my idea how you can improve, I think, like movie experiences at home, because I think that's kind of what people miss, these real things that are really hard to quantify, what makes a movie so great, like in that space. Because I think a lot of that's great, but then personally, I don't like the movies because then you just hear people eat behind you the whole time. So this is kind of gross being in that space. But then sometimes sometimes a movie is amazing to go to. Like Kevin, you remember we went to see Rambo?
Yeah, that was like, to be honest, it wasn't even that great of a movie. I'll be honest, even as a Rambo fan.
No, it was just the fact that there was people like sparsely in the crowd, and we're all just laughing our ass off at a movie that's trying really hard to be serious.
Yeah.
And it was something special about that to me, where I was like, I really enjoyed coming out to this because it was like so over the top and dumb that it was nice.
Oh no, man.
It was nice to have that feedback, and like it was like being at a comedy show, like unexpectedly.
No, I still believe in the movie theater experience. Like I don't do it as much now, but I used to do like those day one like midnight launches where they like Star Wars and like I think I might have even did it for Transformers, but like those big like launches or whatever, and you go in there into the theater with people that are legit fans. Because here's the thing, I'm never a fan of going on the discount Tuesdays, even though you're saving money. But you're going with people that are like either trying to kill time. I've been to so many movies on the Tuesday where fights break out all of a sudden, where people are talking on their phone. I'm like, yeah, what the hell, right?
When I was younger, you went Tuesdays because everything was cheaper. But after you get to a certain point, man, you don't go on a Tuesday.
No.
Kevin, do you remember when we saw Avengers Endgame? And there was a guy who fell asleep.
Yeah, that. I don't know if that was actual. No, I don't think that was opening day. That might have been.
It wasn't opening day. It was just some day. We went.
But yeah, that shit was annoying.
That was
funny.
That was the worst movie experience I've had my whole entire life, because I couldn't see the screen properly with my glasses because of the angle I was looking at. And then there was a dude behind us just snoring. And he kept He kept going in and out of sleep in this movie that was fucking really loud and so it was just more or less funny at that point. So I had a good time, and like another way with that was just kind of like, well, this is just like a shit show.
Yeah. Anyways, Craig, I wanted to ask you and Murray, I guess this thing, because right now my thing is, and my philosophy has always been just deal with what's in front of you right now. So with me, I'm doing what they say and following all the rules, doing my routines and doing all this stuff. But I want to know, what do you think life is going to be like after the corona? Whether that's in 6 months, who knows, maybe even after a year. But what do you think life is going to look like after the coronavirus? What do you think life is for everybody, or even just for you? What do you think life is going to look like?
I would say the one thing I'm thinking is like, it can go either way with how people are. This might make people more introverted, or people just go the opposite way of being like so put aside from being able to communicate with other people. All of a sudden they want to just be extroverted, right? Everyone wants to just get out there and like, and be with their fellow man. And like, it might go either way. But then I think the biggest things that will affect our life though would be like corporations. Because all these small businesses are going to go out under, and there's going to be like new businesses and new ventures. Like you're saying, like what technologies are going to come in this case, but like also got to think of like what things are going to go the way of the dinosaur now that like no one's going to want anymore. Like right now businesses are going under and like whole industries are going to change. This is like how they said like, oh, millennials ruined lottery tickets. Well, like, what did the coronavirus ruin? Or like, did it go under? Is it going to make, they're saying already like all the retail is going to like places like Walmart, Costco, Amazon. So these big companies are consolidating more and more power. And that might be a really weird future for us when we're experiencing like monopolies by these companies. All of a sudden, like that's a big deal in our future where like it's harder than ever to have a small business or, all sorts of stuff like that. Or you might even feel like we live in a weird dystopia where like these companies have a lot of control over your daily existence because there isn't other options. So that's what I kind of see, like maybe like in a good sense, some of this stuff, but some of this stuff might, like the business side of it, I think is going to be really bad for people. So that's, yeah.
And Murray, how's your life going to be like in 2021 when this thing is? I mean, we don't know how bad it's going to get, but let's just say it does end. What's your life going to be like?
I think eventually everything will go back to normal, but I think that the biggest thing that I'm learning or I'm taking away from it is that look how fast, society breaks down or basically stops functioning when like this is a real threat, so like businesses that this is a fake, we've created a kind of like this fake, world to live in, like business and all these things. And it's like when this hits, like it really gets down to the reality of what life is. Who grows food? How do we get food? Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people are going to learn from this to be more prepared for, like an emergency with food and preparation for viruses and whatever. And you know what? If anything, people are going to be cleaner. I think moving forward, I think, people are going to now realize, like, you know what? If I just basically wash my hands more often and hand sanitize, I may not get the common cold or the flu as much as I used to. So I think it could help society get less illnesses in the future. But at the same time, it's exposed a bunch of things too, where, I think, like obviously the rich people are all in their houses and they don't have to, really expose themselves like, the other people who got to keep the supply chain moving. But it really shows what we really just are, right? We're just people who depend on, food to sustain us. And am I useful? Like it's like I make a joke, like I have to go to work, so I'm essential. But really, I'm like a red shirt in Star Trek. It's like, the higher ups aren't there. So, I'm the one at risk, and that's
you're going on the away mission.
I'm on the away mission. Exactly. While they sit on the ship all safe, I'm on the away mission, going to get infected by some flower. But, and that's the thing. I think that, people need to recognize that, but also like, I'm not totally useful, like in what I do. It's like, yeah, they could probably shut us down, but I'm just saying a lot of people are even more useless. Like, and, we need, like, I love to see, the things going on in Italy where the artists are singing and entertaining and drawing and all these things are coming out of it, real creative endeavors. And you need that stuff, it's uplifting, to get through things. And I think like coming out of it, we need those people and that's the difference. I think like they need, people are going to have to get the people that are going to get traumatized from this through it. The people who lose people, as well as like all the healthcare workers and the support chains and all that, or the support lines, they're going to need a break, man. They're going to need a little bit of, decompression. So I think that the world is going to learn how to kind of respect, the lower, what people maybe look down on as like a lower individual, like, oh, that guy at the grocery store, or that person over there. Well, they're still doing their jobs, like maybe you should respect that person a little bit,
That's definitely true.
Right.
But it's like, and the one thing is, I don't know, like I got some buddies and, they're restaurant industry types, and that's totally fine. But like, they're like, this is really hitting them hard, right? Because their restaurants are closed. And it's like, well, yeah, man, but like, and they're really pissed off about it. I'm like, but what the hell did you think was going to happen in a pandemic? Like, people were just going to come and keep eating? Like, what did you think? Like, this is a business you should have, like, you need to know this. Like, if something happens, you might have to close for a long time. And, I don't think people understand that.
I think times like these, and it's happened throughout the ages, the plague, the Great Depression. It happens to every so hundreds of years or so, whatever.
But certain industries still function and need to function during, right? During,
the thing
like,
is,
some things still happen.
These things expose the weaknesses in our society, and it also shows the importance of, like, dude, a year ago, if you were like, oh, grocery workers, yeah, they're just minimum wage, they're just dude, right now they're the heroes, man. They're keeping people fed. They're technically frontline workers. Like, you don't know who they're going to be coming into contact with, right? But they're doing their job. And I know recently, I think Loblaws and a couple of companies have given them like a raise. Dude, I think it needs to be shown that, like, those guys need to be, I worked at a grocery store, and I always thought that it was a dead end job or whatever, right? But now I realize, like, dude, at the end of the day, people got to eat, and that's a vital part.
I mean, McDonald's is still open. Like, McDonald's, when they're doing Uber Eats, think of, like, I was a teenager when I was like 15 and I had a job there. Like, so I couldn't think of being 15 at that time and having to go into work and then put myself at risk because to make, like, whatever it was, like, very little money. It was like, I was making like $6.85 then an hour, to make people Big Macs just to, who didn't want to, like, leave the house to get other food or whatever. So at that time I can kind of, like, understand, like, there was some kid, I think, who faked the coronavirus in Hamilton at McDonald's so he wouldn't have to come into work anymore. And it's almost, like, sad it would have to come to that, It's like, they make him seem like such an asshole for doing it, but I could understand someone, I mean, and that's like a pretty bad measure to take, but it's almost like, would you want to be there at that time? Like, you're like, this isn't my, like, life. I'm a teenager. This isn't what I expected to be, like, roped into,
But I think you got to show it to the appreciation. Those are sticking around that are doing it. But yeah, it's revealing.
Well, yeah, but Kirk, that's a good example. Like, a teenager or like a young person, it's not their life. They can say, you know what, just take this job and shove it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like the older worker that's been there for like 8 years or 10 years or longer, and they have a family. It's like they don't have a choice. Like, they still have to go to work, because if they don't have that bill paid, their kids aren't going to eat, or they can't get, like, diapers or whatever, right? There's no other option, so they have to go, and they have to endanger themselves because that's what they have to do. It's not, of course, if everybody had the choice to just stay home and not have to deal with other members of the public, I think everybody would take that, and be like, sure, yeah, I'd like to sit at home. But the difference is, like, it's funny because, like, all these high paid executives, they're all at home saying, yeah, everybody should be home if they can. But, like, their pay, I don't know how they're covering themselves and whatever, but, like, other people have to, like, do they have sick days? Do they, like, what days are they using? You know what I mean? Like, If
No,
a
it's
company
it's
says you're
definitely
non-essential, no, then they stop getting paid, right? Then they have to go on EI.
yeah, it's
And
definitely a lot to think about right now, like what's happening. And like I know like we kind of had like a varying conversation of what we kind of got into today. But I think we're probably gonna end real soon just because like I'm getting over the hour mark here, guys. So
All right.
but I guess final thoughts, like or a final thing with the whole the theme today was things you're looking forward to.
things you're looking forward to.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not that we can't talk about the other things, but like, if you could pick one thing right now that you would most like to look forward to that you hadn't talked about yet, let's hear it.
I'm gonna go with just less people around. You know, just
That's what you're looking forward to.
not too busy crowds. No, I'm gonna have to go with I'm looking forward to how the world is gonna adapt to this, right?
Okay.
Because let's say the economy is gonna go down the shitter. Protocols are gonna have to change with how we deal with things
Protos.
online. You don't want to be breaking proto this time. Next time.
Brother.
And and I think the companies like Amazon are gonna step, like, I think we're gonna have to change. We're gonna have to go.
Uh-huh.
We're
So
gonna change.
you're looking forward to the changes for the better in the world and
Yeah,
society.
I'm looking for the better. I'm looking, like, you know what I mean. Cut down on human interaction, right? Like, eventually, I'd like to see more machines take the risk than
You
a grocery
would.
personal.
You're the
You know,
machine.
I want to see. Maybe I am, but you know what? At the same time, I mean, I'm hearing about this EI and all that stuff. Maybe it's a tester for this universal income thing. If we can just show, and I think people are learning too, that, you know what? If your job is one of those jobs that, let's say you're not working right now and you got canned or whatever, maybe take a look and see. Maybe your job really wasn't. Since you're not essential, see what is, right. And I think people are going to learn working from home is going to be a better option eventually. Dude, I mean, how many people are now, like, learning, hey, dude, not traveling to work, if I can work at home, way better.
Definitely. And Murray,
Yeah.
I got Kevin off again. Murray, what's something that you're looking forward to with this whole thing being over?
Nothing, man.
You just want to go back to normal, or?
No, you know what? Regarding that, the number one thing I think for everybody is just not worrying about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's get a vaccine, or let's, like, figure it out. And, like, you know what? There's some people, man, they're very afraid, and anxiety levels are very high, and stress levels are very high. And, just, it'll be nice when people can come out of it, and the stress and the worrying and the fear is gone. Regarding that, I'm a little disappointed because yet again, the new space telescope that they're supposed to be launching, which is already delayed, is being pushed back again because of this nonsense, and they need to do work on it. And
The Hubble?
No, the Hubble is going to be not the primary. This is the James Webb telescope that should have gone up. It is going to be amazing, and it's going to be, it's going to blow the Hubble was cool, is very, very cool. This is like the Hubble times 100 or whatever it is going to be amazing. Like, they're going to be able to do so much stuff with this. I'm very much looking forward to that. If anybody doesn't know about it, you guys should check it out too, because you guys will probably be pretty amazed. Kirk, probably something you'd be interested in.
Oh yeah, I like space.
And the launch date was supposed to be next year, and now because of all this stuff, I think it's going to get pushed back, which sucks because
we don't
I want
give
that sucker
Corona
up there. We what?
That's the last thing we want to do, is give space aliens coronavirus. They might take it personally.
Yeah. You don't want to spread that, because then we'll bring them on. Anyways, Kirk, are we wrapping up? Can I do some plugs? Are we wrapping up?
No, I'm not done yet. I was trying to say one thing. Sorry. So I was going to say my final piece here. So you guys had these big, interesting, intricate answers, which were more than I really wanted to hear. but they were great, and I appreciated it because it makes my answer look dumb in comparison. But what I'm looking forward to is that the end of this
Don't
year.
say that.
No, shut up. So at the end of this year, apparently what is coming down the pipeline from Nintendo is the newest Zelda game, Breath of the Wild 2. It's a sequel to the last Switch game for Zelda. So I'm like really looking forward to that because that game kind of changed my life in terms of video games. Like I was kind of out of video games a little bit, and I started playing that, and it totally transformed my life and feeling towards them. So even though it's a bit different of an answer, that's something that like I feel fits in thematically with what I was going for here. Just something that like is keeping my hopes high and looking forward to things happening in the future. That's something I know I'm going to really enjoy.
Are you still playing that game?
I haven't played the last one in a little bit. Like I pick it up here and there, but I've beaten everything in the game a couple times over. So like I played the original part like in normal mode, and then I played that, and then all the DLC, and then I went back and played the game over again.
Oh, then you're done.
Master mode. So like I've played the game through 2 difficulties and then all the DLC. So like at this point, like I play it just to have a chuckle here and there, so like fuck around, because there's all these things I keep finding like online that are basically people posting videos of stuff you can do. You can fuck with the physics in the game when you freeze things or do certain things. So you find interesting things you can do all the time because there's so many open weird things that exist in the game that kind of like work on that engine of the game. So
well, I just got one of those.
Oh, Switch?
I did, yeah, last Friday.
Nice. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, I got it for my son for his birthday. But yeah, I don't have that game. But that's see, now we're Switch brothers.
Yeah, you gotta add me. Sorry, Kevin, I didn't mean to exclude you from this conversation.
No, you guys can be Nintendo boys.
Well, I haven't played it at all yet, but and we don't like. Yeah, our games are limited right now, a couple games, but just saying. Like I'm looking at adding, the Zelda stuff for sure, and
nice.
Yeah.
So I mean, like that's all the things we're looking forward to going forward in the future. Some are big concepts, some are smaller things like Zelda. We really appreciate you guys if you left some feedback, or any listeners on the podcast. Tell us what you're looking forward to in the future, how you're coping with things currently. We'd like to hear all that stuff and like give us some feedback on how you like the show. But for now, that's been Evenings with Kirk Murray and our guest tonight, Kevin Homoki.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter, Kevin Homoki, and Best Things in Life podcast, YouTube, Instagram. It's all over.
Sounds good. Like everyone, we'll leave some links in the description for Kevin there. And I just want to tell all our audience, have a good evening.
Good luck.
Thanks for having me.
Murray, you're always here. We always have Murray and Kevin. You were a good guest. I loved having you. I'll see you guys.
Hey.